traditional parenting advice isn't just ineffective for our PDA children, it's often actively harmful to their well-being. It escalates burnout, increases distress, and turns your home into a battleground. Most advice fails because it focuses on behavior. But in this video, we are rebuilding your understanding of PDA around their nervous system. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear step-by-step framework for low-demand, safety-led parenting that actually reduces stress, increases autonomy for your child, and creates calm within your entire family. If you are here because nothing has been working, if you've tried the rewards, the consequences, the firm boundaries, and you're still exhausted, overwhelmed, or constantly second-guessing yourself, then this video is for you. My intention is that you don't leave here more confused. We've had enough of that. I want you to leave with clarity, with a framework that finally makes sense, and with a path forward that feels doable, not overwhelming. If anything is unclear as you go along, please ask in the comments. I want you to understand what is happening and not just hear the information that I'm telling you. If we haven't met before, my name is Chantal. I'm an educator with over a decade of experience supporting neurodivergent children and their families with a specific focus on autism and PDA. I'm also speaking from lived experience, both within myself and as a mother to neurodivergent children. I'm a late identified and diagnosed autistic, ADHD, and PDAer myself, and I parent within this nervous system profile too. So what I share here is not just theoretical. It is shaped by professional training and by living this reality every day. What I offer here is a nervous system-led, low-demand, autonomy-supportive approach. This is what actually reduced burnout for my own family and the families that I support. One of the biggest reasons why nothing has been working is because PDA, pathological demand avoidance, or the kinder term, persistent drive for autonomy, is so misunderstood. What it is not is bad behavior, manipulation, defiance, a child trying to control you, a parenting problem, or lazy parenting. PDA is in fact a nervous system difference and a disability. At its core, PDA is about perceived threat, especially around pressure, expectations, demands, and losses of autonomy. When the nervous system perceives a threat, it doesn't respond to logic, rewards, or consequences. The logical brain is offline, even when it's delivered calmly. It responds with fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So when we approach PDA through a behavioral lens, we think, how do I stop this? We are already starting in the wrong place because behavior isn't the problem. It is the signal. We see it externally as the problem. And when we treat the problem or address the problem, we miss everything else that has been building up and accumulating underneath over time. What we see on the surface, refusal, meltdowns, shutdowns, panic attacks, aggression, avoidance, procrastination strategies, anxiety. That is the tip of the iceberg. But what's underneath? For me, and in my family and the families that I work with, it is nervous system overwhelm, chronic stress, sensory overload, fear of losing autonomy, equalizing behavior, unmet safety needs, burnout. If we focus only on behavior, we miss what's actually driving the behavior that we see. And when we miss that, children escalate, not because they want to, not because they are doing this on purpose to you, but because nothing about the response is increasing their safety. You are not failing as a parent, even though it might feel that way a lot of the time. Supporting a PDA child doesn't start with fixing them. That's actually not part of it at all. In order to understand PDA and how it presents and is expressed in your child and their safety needs, their autonomy needs, it starts with supporting you, the parent, because you are holding the brunt of this escalation, navigating systems that don't understand your child, whether it be healthcare, school, going over to grandparents' homes, even friends. You are carrying this enormous emotional load, regulating through chronic stress. You cannot co-regulate a child in threat of their own safety if your own nervous system is constantly overloaded. This isn't about being calm all the time. It is about being supported enough to respond in a way that isn't reacting immediately without thinking. You are not failing. You are operating inside systems that were never built for pathologically demand-avoidant autistic nervous systems. Most families come to understand PDA after trying behavior charts, rewards, consequences, timeouts, natural consequences, firm boundaries, consistency at all costs, even all of the autism support strategies that are meant to increase predictability, support routines, help your autistic child feel safe. If your child is PDA, if they have a PDA profile and they are autistic, what happens is that all of these strategies that you have heard support autistic children, they most likely don't support your PDA child. Your PDA child needs flexibility, spontaneity. They need control and autonomy. They need to be in charge. They need a completely different parenting approach, and one that is quite uncomfortable for a lot of parents because we're not used to it. We were never given this rule book. Hence why I'm making this video, so you have it. And when parents are exhausted trying all of these strategies, they are then told, you are being permissive. Lazy parenting, you need firmer boundaries, you need to be extra consistent. You are reinforcing this bad behavior. And one of my favorite ones is, but they don't do that with me. Of course they don't, because you're not their main person, you're not their co-regulator. But for PDA nervous systems, control increases their threat response. And when threat increases, so does their distress. This is why PDA requires a completely different lens than what you have been told and what you've been given. Instead of asking, how do I stop this behavior? We instead need to shift our thinking and ask, what is my child's nervous system responding to right now? And then, what needs to change in this environment? Where is the pressure coming from? What demands can be reduced? What sensory input overwhelming? Where is their autonomy being threatened? What am I not seeing? And how can I support that? This is not being permissive. This is safety-led parenting. And I will tell you, I don't actually even have to tell you, if you are the parent of a PDA child, an autistic child, even a neurodivergent child, and you're just exploring PDA, I guarantee that your parenting approach, even if it's not working, it is anything but lazy. So the people who say those things, they actually don't know what they're talking about. This is not permissive. You are intentionally in a low demand parenting approach, needing to be careful of your wording, of how you approach a situation, of your tone, of your surroundings. It is exhausting. So it is anything but lazy and anything but permissive. It's actually very brave. So you were doing a great job. I think often what gets forgotten about is that safety and trust are the foundations for regulation, learning, and connection. That is essential for your child's well-being and how they will carry on and support themselves and advocate for themselves in their life. Now let's talk about language that reduces threat. Language is one of the fastest ways we either increase or reduce threat. This isn't about saying the perfect thing. Often, less words feel safer. Tone will matter so much more than the couple words that you miss saying. Timing matters. Language works when it removes pressure, offers space, communicates safety, and it places responsibility on the adult, not the child. Language like this takes practice, not memorization, because you have to feel it. You have to actually shift your entire parenting approach. And that is hard and challenging work. This approach, by the way, does not make parenting easy. Actually makes it a bit harder. But putting in these hard yards now and working on your own regulation as a parent, understanding nervous system safety for your child, what burnout is, what burnout looks like, how to adjust their sensory environments, really understanding your child's sensory profile and how that impacts their nervous system and their day-to-day life. That increased understanding will relieve the pressure in your home. It will support safety in your child. It will give you a whole new outlook on how you support and parent your child, how you connect with them. It will make you question some things, and that's okay. But I bet that if you are here watching this video, you are in the space where you have realized that nothing is working anymore and there has to be a better way. And I am here to tell you that there is. Lived experience, even within myself, within the families that I work with. This low demand, safety first approach, connection first approach, this works. It supports our PDA autistic children more than anything that the behavior focused therapists and pediatricians have to say. It supports our clarity, supports our family values, gives us our time back with our children because they feel understood. This approach does not make your parenting journey easy. You will still have hard days and you'll still get it wrong, and that's okay. You will still rupture your relationship, but what is important is that you repair. Repair builds trust, not perfection. If you're thinking, oh, wow, this now is starting to make sense, I have to throw out that traditional parenting book and really approach PDA from a nervous system-based lens, safety first. Where to next? Sometimes understanding that alone is enough to just let your nervous system settle. Some parents later choose language support for those hard moments. Some want community, so they're not doing this alone. And others want to establish those deeper foundations first around burnout, safety, sustainability, co-regulation. All of that is optional. This video does stand on its own, and I really hope that you have learned something from it. I know how much capacity it takes to seek understanding when you are already exhausted. You are not imagining what you are seeing, you are not failing, and your child is not broken. If you have questions, please just leave them in the comments. I want you to feel oriented and welcome and not alone.